The Olympic Games are upon us and Paris is having a party. The Summer Olympic Games are once again taking place in the French capital after a century of waiting. This is the third time that Paris will be hosting the Olympics, and the Games will begin on July 26, 2024, with an extraordinary opening ceremony that will take place outdoors along the Seine River and conclude at the Eiffel Tower rather than in a stadium. At the Olympic trials, previous stars are anticipated to make bids to compete again, and Sydney McLaughlin is among these athletes. We'll be exploring exactly how she will qualify for the Olympics in 2024. The qualification requirements for the athletics competition at the 2024 Olympic Games in Paris have been finalized and published by the World Athletics Council. Basically, athletes can qualify for the Paris 2024 Games in two different ways. 50% of the spots are determined by meeting the entrance standards for an event during the qualifying period, while the other 50% are determined by the World Athletics ranking during the ranking period. Sydney McLaughlin, now McLaughlin's, is a sprint and hurdles champion who participated in the Olympics for the first time in 2016, and is most certainly one to watch out for in 2024. Maybe McLaughlin was meant to be an athlete from birth. Her mother was a runner as well, and her brother won silver in the 400-meter hurdle at the 2016 IAAF World U20 Championships. Her father Willie competed in the 400-meter semifinals in the 1984 Summer Olympics. Sydney, however, has surpassed them all, as she holds the 400-meter hurdle world record and is an Olympic gold medalist. Following her setting of the world record at the 2021 US Olympic trials, Sydney has dominated the women's 400-meter hurdles ever since. History-making potential for McLaughlin has long ago been predicted. She was only 16 years old when she competed at Rio 2016, having placed third in the US national trials. She ultimately finished 16th overall, losing in the semifinals. McLaughlin was the youngest athlete to qualify for the USA at the time, which made headlines. Athletics enthusiasts knew they spotted a star in the making, even though they didn't anticipate her to win a medal at such a young age. The teenage American earned silver in the 400-meter hurdles at the 2019 World Championships in Doha. She went on to beat her own record, this time at the US Championships, after winning the Olympic gold in Tokyo in 2021. It seems she's looking to switch things up even more in 2024. There will be 48 sporting competitions at the Paris 2024 Olympics, comprising 23 for women and 23 for men. The 4x400 meter mixed relay and the 35-kilometer mixed team race walk will be the two mixed events. The qualifying and ranking period will run from December 31st, 2022 to June 30th, 2024 for the 10,000 meter combination events, race walks, and relays. The qualification and ranking period will run from July 1st, 2023 to June 30th, 2024 for all other events besides the marathon. The qualification season for the marathon will run from November 1st, 2022 through April 30th, 2024. Athletes competing in marathons who are ranked higher than 65th on the filtered quota place Road to Paris list on January 30th, 2024 will get a bonus. The 2024 Olympic schedule may have an impact on Sydney McLaughlin's decision regarding the event she will concentrate on in track and field. She said everything is conceivable moving forward, including switching to the 400-meter flat, which her coach has stated is her destiny after destroying her 400-meter hurdles world record to win her world gold record. A woman has never won the 400 hurdles double at the Olympics, but Sydney McLaughlin could attempt it in Paris. In order to do so, she would have to compete for 6 days in a row. 7 if you count the 4,400 relay final, but never more than once per day. If you're not sure, here's how the qualification works. The National Olympic Committee, in charge of assisting the athletes and registering them for the Games, are the ones who choose the athletes. 1 year prior to the opening ceremony, the International Olympic Committee sends invitation letters to every National Olympic Committee. Those National Olympic Committees then submit entries for the Games, which the International Olympic Committee then approves or disapproves. We think the chances of her smashing all upcoming events and eventually qualifying are quite high. Just look at her stunning track record. She holds the Olympic record for 2020 Tokyo and the global record for 2022 with a timing of 50.68 seconds. She became the first woman to run the 400-meter hurdles in under 52 seconds in June 2021 and 51 seconds in July 2022 by setting 4 world records in a span of 13 months. McLaughlin won the 2015 World Youth Championship at the age of 15, with a third-place finish at the US Olympic Trials in a time of 54.15 seconds. the current world under 18 best, and the then current world U20 record. She became the youngest athlete since 1980 to make the US Olympic track team. With a junior personal best time of about 52.75 seconds and the current world U20 record of 53.6 seconds, she set both records in 2018. Only one other woman has broken the 52-second barrier, and McLaughlin is the only one to have broken the 51-second barrier. As a result, she currently holds the world record by nearly 1 second, which is the biggest gap between the record holder and the next best performer in individual history. Due to her talent, Sydney McLaughlin decided to go pro in 2018, and a number of significant sports organizations were competing for her services. She agreed to sign a contract for New Balance that is thought to be worth $1.5 million. After Sydney earned silver in the 400-meter hurdles at the 2019 World Championships in Doha, she said, "I knew the race would be quick, but I didn't anticipate it to happen so quickly. Despite my youth, I have already learned a lot. One thing that has marked her career is how rapidly she improves." Bob Kersey, a controversial track coach who has primarily taught female competitors, is her coach and has certainly had an impact on her. McLaughlin has distinguished herself after moving to Kersey's coaching in 2020 by taking 14 strides between hurdles, which is uncommon for female athletes. She has run 6 of the top 7 fastest times in history thanks to her technical proficiency and top-end speed, and some may say she is aiming for 13 strides between hurdles eventually. So far, there doesn't seem to be any chink in her armor. She trains hard and performs with such focus that it's hard not to see her qualifying for the next Olympics. A problem with some athletes is that they slow down when they get to these heights, but Sydney has shown us that she has no plans of doing so. However, there is more than just the time involved in the discussion of what track sensation Sydney McLaughlin will do next. Yes, at the World Championship, she lowered the record in the 400-meter hurdles event by almost 3/4 of a second to a previously unimaginable time of 50.68 seconds. Former world record holder Dalilah Muhammad even declared a 49-second race was now possible after McLaughlin lowered her record by a drop of an astounding 0.73 of a second and a time that would have defeated 2 women in the final of the Open 400 at the World Championships, the race without 10 hurdles. In McLaughlin's opinion, 49 seconds is conceivable. Quote, "It basically comes down to who can prepare for that environment in terms of training and race preparation, respectively." End quote. However, her performance in something other than hurdles in Paris may be what has many curious. She has made suggestions that she would compete in the 100 hurdles or the 400 flat in the future, and many can't help but wonder how she would fare. Despite the fact that 400 hurdles performance is determined by skill and strategy, faster tracks and technologically sophisticated spikes have advanced times. So much of it is in the mentality, and Sydney seems to have the right mindset. According to her, women's 400-meter hurdles still have a ways to go, and there is room for growth. She said, "I believe there's always room for improvement. I believe that, particularly in our event, we are testing the limits of the sport. Having the right mindset is key when you're an athlete, especially a mind frame of trying to be better and pushing the limits. This is how she keeps improving. She's constantly looking for room for improvement. Improving her techniques, constantly working to beat her previous records, and never settling for mediocrity. And that's what will push her into qualifying for the Paris Olympics in 2024. Do you think Sydney McLaughlin will qualify for the 2024 Olympics? Why? Share your thoughts in the comments below.